like the idea that a voice can just go somewhere
uninvited, like a dirty thought in a nice clean mind.
Welcome to the Liberal Lens. I'm Jay, and tonight we're talking about how 7 Democrats and an independent just crossed party lines to vote with the Republicans to end the government shutdown without securing any subsidies for Obamacare, the ACA, and having 42 million Americans either lose their health care or see skyrocketing premiums. So just a little while ago, they voted to on a funding package that will help to reopen the government. The vote required 60 votes, so they needed Democrats and an independent. So they got 7 Democrats and an independent to vote to move this bill forward. The terms of the compromise including extending some funding through the year, like SNAP through 2026. So if anything else happens, there can't be an argument over SNAP. So that's cool, but you still sold out the American people. Reversing layoffs announced during the shutdown and guaranteeing a future vote on the extension of ACA tax credits. Nothing's guaranteed with that. So in December, they've agreed to vote on the ACA credits to get Obamacare back, its subsidies to keep 42 million of Americans having affordable health care. So 8 senators decided they were going to vote for this. All of them caucus with the Democrats because, again, there is one independent, even against the Senate majority leader's advice. The whip broke off. It's time for a new whip. The fact that these senators sold out the American people is crazy. It's crazy. What did you get in return? SNAP was going to go back to getting paid as soon as it went through the courts. This has already been ruled on. That was just a temporary pause. I know people are going to say, oh, it's because they were going to get rid of the filibuster. No, they won't. There was too many Republicans who had already said they wouldn't vote for it, and it was already said they don't have the votes because they know at some point the Democrats will get back into power, and if they only need 50, then they can push through everything they want, and they don't want to be on the other end of this because some of them actually understand how this works. But 7 Democratic senators and an independent decided to sell out the American people for what? For what? A promise of a sit down and a vote? All they have to do is vote against it, which they're going to do. Because Trump's already told them that he wants to get rid of it. And now Trump's already talking about some shit like, let's send them cash for what they would have gotten subsidies so they can go buy better health care. That's just his way of trying to break the system. He wants to break the ACA so it no longer functions. And then he can say, see, this doesn't work, and they can kick 42 million people off of healthcare. They can reverse no pre-existing conditions, and so they can start denying people healthcare again. And these Democrats voted for it. What the fuck are you doing? You took the little bit of leverage you had to get anything done, and you threw it out the window. And they weren't asking for anything except to extend what we already had. They weren't asking for extra money. They weren't asking them to bow down and cave into all their demands. There was no demands except keep the status quo. Keep Americans with health care. And the ACA isn't the greatest system. There is way better systems out there, like a single payer system. The US is the only major country in the world that doesn't have universal health care. But yet we're the richest. And now 8 Democrats who are supposed to be the party of the people, the party of wanting to do what's right for the American people, to fight and stand up for health care, for food, for housing, for clothes. Guess what? 7 of them and an independent just sold you out. They sold all of us out. All right, well, let's get into who they are because everybody should know who they are. Pick up your phones, let them know, send an email, however you get out. Let these senators know you are not happy. Kathleen Cortez Masto, Democrat, Nevada. Dick Durbin, Democrat, Illinois. John Fetterman, Democrat, Pennsylvania. Maggie Hassan, Democrat, New Hampshire. Tim Kaine, Democrat, Virginia. Jackie Rosen, Democrat, Nevada. Jeanne Shaheen, Democrat, New Hampshire. August King, Independent, Maine. Get on your phones. Let them know we're not happy. They just sold out the American people. And thanks to them, there is going to be the tons of the most vulnerable people in this country suffering because they can't afford health care, because their health care was taken away from them when the Democrats had this little bit of leverage that they could have held on to. And polls were already showing that the majority of American people were blaming the Republicans for the shutdown. They were going to have to cave. And this court case over the SNAP benefits would have been settled in a couple days, and I'm willing to bet that they would have been forced to pay out the SNAP benefits. So what the fuck did you cave for? It doesn't even make sense. And here's the sad thing. The Republicans are going to just be able to keep doing what they want to do if the Democratic Party can't even stick together. I mean, you know shit's going sideways when Marjorie Taylor Greene is talking more sense than these 8 people who just voted with the Republicans and sold out the American people in their own party. All right, guys. I don't know how it's going to go from here. I hope it gets better and they figure out something. I really doubt that the Republicans are going to come along and give in anything. In the history of the Republican Party in healthcare, have they ever had a plan? If they did, put it in the comments, because I sure can't remember one. All right, everybody, have a great night. One world, one love. Deuces.
Everything's polluted. The environment, the government, the schools, you name it.
This radio person is the whole problem. Are we going to allow this guy to be heard by anyone who can turn a dial?
You out there? You listening?